What's the current state of the Winnipeg real estate market? Stand by, we'll find out next on Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast.
You're listening to the Bo Knows Real Estate Podcast. Tips and advice for home buyers, sellers, and owners with award-winning RE/MAX agent, Bo Kaufman.
Hello, this is Bo Kaufman, RE/MAX Performance Realty. Welcome to another episode of Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast. We're well into May, and let's take a look at what's happening in the market. Now, when you compare listings and sales year over year, there's no doubt that we are a much more favorable market for home buyers than we were a year ago. So let's look at the sales as they were in April 2022 and compared to this year, April 2023. The numbers, according to Winnipeg Realtors, for the overall listings, we currently have 3,584. That's up 70% over the same period last year. And total sales of 1,103 are down 24%. Now that's the overall. That's houses, attached, detached, condos. Let's take a look at how those numbers fare in those different categories. The number for standalone houses, that's detached homes, is even more telling. The active listings for Winnipeg Real Estate Board area are 1,761, which is nearly double what it was a year ago when we had 956. At the same time, sales are off 25% when compared to last year. So these numbers alone would suggest a nod towards a buyer's market. Since there are more homes for sale and fewer sales happening, buyers overall face less competition, more choices, and fewer bidding wars. But the story doesn't end there. Let's take a look at the average prices. Last year in April, the average detached home sold for $447,295, while this year that number is $409,286. That's a drop of 9%, and that would be a third sign of a buyer's market. Look at it this way. If the market is like a three-legged stool, it's made up of inventory, buyer activity, and prices. And all these stats and all these numbers are now leaning in the favor of the buyer. So what's happening with attached homes? These are the side-by-sides and townhouses. Home builders have been constructing these as an alternative for first-time buyers. Since they use less land and less building material, they're quite a bit cheaper to build and therefore cheaper to buy. So here, active listings are actually more than double what they were last year, going from 122 last year to 252 available this year. Sales are off by 28% from 109 last year to 79 this April. And prices are also down 28% to an average of $326,995. So the story here is very much the same as it is with attached homes. There's more availability, less competition among buyers, and lower prices to boot. But what about condos? Does the story repeat for condos in Winnipeg as well? Yes, but not to the same extreme. The 484 available condos are just a 42% increase over last year, while sales are off by 24%. Last April, we sold 224 condos, whereas this year we only sold 171. However, prices have remained fairly stable, dropping just 1% for the average sale from $261,000 last year to $258,000 this year. Let's talk interest rates when we come back.
We'll be right back after this short announcement.
This episode of Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast is sponsored by Mike Schroeder of Mortgage Architects. If you are serious about buying a home, then contacting a mortgage specialist is an important step. Mike can explain your options and let you know exactly what you can afford. This will save you time by making sure you are shopping within your budget. Call Mike Schroeder today at 204-229-3214.
So we've seen that all three factors are leaning towards a buyer's market, but what about interest rates? Now, there are a lot of people that are pointing out that interest rates are quite a bit higher. They went from roughly 2%, you can get about 4.5% this year. But here's another way to look at this. Interest rates will go up and down, but the purchase price is forever. Now, unless you're lucky enough to pay your mortgage off in the next 5 years or the first time you've locked in those rates, you're likely going to have to renew and renegotiate those mortgages a few times over the length of the mortgage. Each time, of course, you'll be subject to the current interest rates, and your mortgage payment will be based on how much you owe on your house. And right now, you can buy a house for roughly 10% less than you would have paid last year. And that 10% reduction, that lower price, that's forever. All this adds up to an encouraging sign for home buyers. And if you're interested in exploring your options and to see how much home your current pre-approval will buy you, call me anytime for a free buyer consultation. That's Bo Kaufman, RE/MAX Performance, 204-333 2202.
Are you looking to buy a house or a condo in Winnipeg? Work with the agent who takes the time to explain the process to you, guiding you through every step. For service beyond the sale, book your home buying consultation with Bo Kaufman of RE/MAX Performance today. Bo knows real estate.
You've been listening to Bo Kaufman of RE/MAX Performance Realty. Are you thinking of buying or selling a house or a condo in Winnipeg? Call Bo at 204-333-2202. Remember, Bo knows real estate.